This is blacksheepmag.com and we're here with England and Manchester United defender and entrepreneur Rio Ferdinand. Welcome, Rio.
How you doing?
You've just launched your new magazine, number 5 magazine. Tell us how all that came about.
Yeah, I mean, people first of all would have expected it to be like a sports-orientated magazine. Well, I was quite happy to go kind of against that grain and kind of do something that was a little bit more open-minded for everybody, which is obviously lifestyle, music, obviously sport, film, fashion, and so I wanted to kind of incorporate that all in one magazine and do it online. And the thing that really grabbed me was that it was going to be free. At first I thought, oh, I'll get one and do it and put it on the shelves, but then it's a lot more cost effective to do it like this way, do it digital online so people can get on there and access it without having to put their hand in their pocket, and that really made sense to me. So,
what made you initially decide to launch the mag? Is it something you've had in mind for quite a long time, what you've been toying with, or was it something?
I think the team I've got around me now, New Era, who look after my off-the-field stuff, my agents, they had an idea about doing a magazine, and I was quite interested in doing it. And as I said, I thought it would be on the shelves, and then we kind of came to a decision that doing it digitally would work better for everybody and for myself really as well, because obviously my first love is football and I didn't want anything to kind of detract from that. So obviously being online, I can do it by email, I can look at the flat plan, I can look at the interviews, I can look at the photographs and stuff all online on emails while I'm travelling or while I'm in hotels or anywhere in Europe. So it was a lot easier for me to do it like that. So.
How much editorial control do you have with the magazine? Do you say, okay, right, I want this artist here and I want to cover this sports artist this week? And
it's full on, seriously. Like, I don't do things half measures. I'm not into kind of putting my name to something that I'm not really interested in or I've got no affinity with. I think if I'm going to do something, it's going to be judged by the public, by the media, so I need to make sure that it's on point when I'm doing it. So, and I feel fairly comfortable when I look at it and so I can put it out there and say, yeah, I know that this is a good product and something that I can be proud of and the team around me can be proud of. So, yeah, when it comes to picking certain photographs, like I'll be honest, the last issue, I wasn't 100% pleased with the fashion shoot.
What's that?
Just I didn't think it was quirky enough, I didn't think it was kind of nowish, I didn't think there was enough difference in the outfits and stuff, and it was just that it was a bit of timing, a bit of confusion with certain emails that it didn't get corrected the way we wanted to, but don't worry, next issue will be sorted out and corrected. But yeah, I'm hands-on in all departments really, the music reviews, the film reviews, and I think more importantly, who we interview.
Because the first issue you had 50, which was a brilliant person to go on your first issue, obviously.
Yeah, I think people kind of expected me to go that way, and I thought, oh, if he's going to go for anybody in the music world, or he'd go for 50 or a rapper, because I'm young, I'm black, and I'm from
Well, you have been
London.
associated with 50 now and again. I mean, even I've been to a 50 gig, but you've rocked up, Rio,
yeah,
so there's no getting away from it.
That's what people are going to expect, though. But I was saying, I thought I'd go that way, but I'd hopefully try and surprise them in the way that it's interviewed, and that we won't be talking about how many times he's been shot, how many times he's been stabbed, where he's come from and whatnot. I wanted to talk about his aspirations as a businessman, how he's done in his business world, how he's got to that point, and what his plans are for the future. Just hopefully see a different side and more lighter side to him than what you normally see reported about him. So hopefully we kind of achieved that in the interview, and I think we did from the feedback that we got.
And what was it like interviewing Roger Federer?
No, Roger Federer was brilliant. I think I've been fortunate in a lot of the interviews that I've done. I've had a good kind of getting on period with the guys. So, and he made it really easy. And you think to yourself, oh, Roger Federer, the greatest tennis player on earth. What's he going to be like? Will he be a bit aloof? Will he be hard to interview? And he was just so relaxed and made me feel comfortable. And I think that was borne out in the interview.
Because, again, do you think it's been made more difficult for you, being a footballer, suddenly crossing over to, say, having a magazine, in the same way it might be difficult for artists such as Beyonce, who's known as a singer, to cross over into acting? Do you think that kind of stifles it a little bit or makes it easier?
I don't know. I just think if you can do something, why not do it? I think I've been given the opportunity to do something. Why am I going to say no? I think, as I said, as a kid when you're growing up, you're crying out for opportunities to do things. So what's the point of me turning down opportunities when I get them at this stage in my life? I think at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of people out there that I've seen a lot of people write reviews on the magazine and stuff, and they're saying, oh, why is he doing this? He's taking other people's jobs. Listen, if you want to go out there and do it, you go and do it.
And are there any artists that you would really like to interview that you haven't yet?
Yeah,
Have you
there's
pitched for anyone that you're kind
loads.
of, you've got someone in mind?
There's loads. I mean, Michael Jackson was the obvious one. I got to speak to him on the phone, which is in the issue that's out at the moment, the phone call and stuff. And it was just unfortunate that it wasn't to be. And he's like my boyhood idol. He was the man when I was a kid. I used to sit at home and recite every lyric of the Bad album and stuff. And it was unfortunate that he passed away. But
how did that all come about, that phone call? Because I watched the footage.
It was weird. It's mad. I just know someone that knows him. I don't know how that happened. I just know someone that knows Michael Jackson. And then he just came into the launch and said, listen, Michael wants to say good luck, and he wants to see you after a concert. And he wants to have a meeting about being in your magazine. And I just thought, wow, this is just off the charts. Like, it was nuts. And then
you were shaking, innit?
Yeah, I was like, this is mad. It's like meeting your hero. Like,
I don't know how I'd react if I ever
like,
met.
Who's your hero?
It was Michael Jackson.
That's what I mean. If you
and that's why when I saw you, I don't know how I'd react if I ever did have to interview him.
There's a fella in the footage. He hasn't left that phone's now been on his mantelpiece in a glass box. Ain't been touched since, with the phone calls on. But no, it's
because initially that footage was amazing, and it's great because, you know, you got the phone call, you got to speak to your idol before the launch of your mag. But looking at the footage now, it's quite sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very sad. I mean, that's one of the things I was thinking. Obviously, it's disappointing for him and his family and stuff like that. But it would have been just so great for me to be able to see my idol, which is quite selfish. But it'd have been nice to have been able to do that. But it wasn't to be. But in today's day and age, who's living? I think Jay-Z's got to be up there. Jay-Z and Eminem have got to be up there because they're just unbelievable artists in so many different respects. I'd like to interview Lily Allen, you know. She's quite quirky, and I'd like to kind of ask her a few different questions, and you see a lot of stuff reported about her, and I'd like to get to the bottom of a few things.
There's a section on our website called Back in the Day where we try and interview or focus on someone that isn't really around anymore, to kind of reminisce on when they were around, such as the Jodeci's.
Oh, Jodeci will be me.
Is that the one? I was going to say to you, who would your Back in the Day interview
Jodeci.
with?
They're the best R&B group ever. Don't get it twisted ever, please. Jodeci are the best R&B group in the world ever. Drew Hill, no, not the same planet. All these other people, not having it. People start chatting about all these artists and that and say, oh, they're the next boy bands and all this palaver. They're not even coming up to Jodeci yet, so they can't talk to me, please.
And you know what? Jodeci are the only band as well, male band that had male fans to that extent as well. You won't get that now.
Like Jagged Edge and that, Jagged Edge and 112 and that, they're good.
But they're not great.
But they're not Jodeci. Sorry guys, but it's true.
So Jodeci would be your Back in the Day interview if you had to do one?
Yeah, I think, because that's, you know what, I'll be honest, right, that's when I was like, raving, going out, doing mad stuff, and Jodeci was like the music back then when I used to drive around in my car and stuff and with my mates, so there's a lot of memories that go alongside.
Did you get with any girls to any Jodeci tracks?
I think so, yeah, I'd say so. But that was back in the day.